Welcome back to Primetime News.
Special welcome to folks on OneSpotMedia.com.
Up first this evening, the Supreme Court case involving opposition MP Fitz Jackson and the Bank of Nova Scotia took an about turn for the plaintiff on Friday.
This after the court ruled in favor of the bank, stating that it is not in breach of the law for charging fees for the encashment of checks.
However, Mr. Jackson and his legal team will be appealing the ruling.
A press conference at the Spanish Court Hotel in St. Andrew on Friday, hours after opposition Member of Parliament Fitz Jackson lost his bid for the Supreme Court to issue a summary judgment that the Bank of Nova Scotia (BNS) breached the Bills of Exchange Act by charging fees to encash checks.
I was expecting a better judgment, obviously, but I'm also mindful of the implication of a judgment one way or the other.
The summary judgment was applied for after Mr. Jackson filed a suit against BNS for breaching his rights. This after he was charged a $385 fee for encashing a $2,500 check in 2019. Mr. Jackson's attorney Anthony Williams explained why the summary judgment was applied for.
Having meticulously examined the court documents and the defense filed by BNS, there were certain concessions made that led us to the conclusion that it would have been BNS who would not have had a real prospect of success.
However, Supreme Court Judge Justice Crescentia Brown Beckford found that the Bank of Nova Scotia did not breach the Bills of Exchange Act nor the Banking Services Act. The judge also found that the bank's right to charge a fee for the service falls under the Code of Conduct under the Banking Services Act.
We could see some glaring inconsistencies, contradictions in the analysis by the judge, and most importantly, as I mentioned earlier on, this lawsuit was based from the very beginning on the provisions of the Bills of Exchange Act, not the Banking Services Act.
It must be noted that since the case was brought before the bank, BNS has since discontinued charging fees for checks. Now, as for what's next,
we intend to file an appeal against the matter. It is not over yet. We have a real prospect of fighting this matter, and we believe that we would be on good grounds.
For me personally, any effort that can protect the everyday Jamaican is a battle worth fighting. And I intend to do that inside or outside of Parliament.
Mr. Jackson has been lobbying Parliament since 2018 to enact legislation which would eliminate certain banking fees, including fees for the encashment of checks. The bill tabled at the time is still before Parliament.